Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the really powerful philosophy behind what might be one of modern hip-hop's most important songs, J. Cole's Love Yourz.
Let's just start with this one line, because it's the key to everything. Think being broke was better. Now, coming from J. Cole, a guy who has all the fame, money, and success you could imagine, that line should make you stop and go, wait, what?
I mean, it's a complete paradox, right? And with this single thought, Cole basically puts a giant question mark over the very definition of success that so many of us spend our entire lives chasing.
Okay, so first we have to really dig into this idea, this conflict between finally achieving your dream and then not actually feeling fulfilled by it. You know, he spent years grinding, working, dreaming of getting to the top, only to arrive and discover that it wasn't the fairy tale he thought it would be. The destination, simply put, just didn't deliver on its promise.
I mean, this lyric right here, it reframes the whole idea of success. It's not just about how far you go, it's about which direction you're actually headed. Cole is basically suggesting that the path to fame and fortune might actually lead you away from what really matters.
So, if all that external success isn't the answer, what's really going on here? What's the root of the problem? Well, in the song, he calls his own words a signal of distress, and that points to a much deeper issue. Cole brilliantly sets up this contrast. He realized that we often get it completely backwards. We chase success because we think that's where the beauty is, and in the process, we completely overlook the value and the growth that's happening right in the middle of our struggles. And he actually explained what this ugliness is all about during a live speech. He said that real health, real well-being, isn't about having a life without problems. It's all about how well we process and deal with pain, which is something every single one of us goes through. And then he breaks down exactly how this happens. You go through some kind of pain or trauma, big or small. And what does society tell us? Man up, stop crying, just suppress it. But that pain doesn't just vanish. It just builds up, layer by layer, year after year, until it becomes this incredibly heavy burden that you're just carrying around.
And that is the ugliness he's talking about. No amount of money, no fancy car, no amount of fame can heal those deep internal wounds. You can have $1 million watch on your wrist and still be carrying decades of unprocessed pain inside.
So what happens with all this unprocessed pain? Well, it often feeds directly into one of the biggest drivers of unhappiness in the modern world, the comparison trap.
Cole poses this huge, fundamental question, and it's the pivot point. He moves from the internal problem, our pain, to the external habit that makes it so much worse, that endless, draining cycle of always wanting more.
He argues that we're always looking at what other people have, scrolling on our phones, and we fantasize about this perfect, stress-free life. And that creates a super dangerous trap, because that curated, perfect life we're seeing, it doesn't actually exist.
And Cole just lays out how pointless this chase is with brutal honesty. He points out there will always be a bigger house, there will always be a better car, there will always be fresher clothes. It is, by its very design, a race you absolutely cannot win.
And then, bam! He hits us with the core revelation of the entire song. This is the simple, powerful antidote to the poison of comparison. That perfect life you're imagining someone else has, it's a myth. It's not real.
Okay, so if we're supposed to stop comparing, what's the next step? What's the actual actionable thing we can do to find contentment? How do we actually put this philosophy into practice?
The answer is right there in the title, Love Yourz. But this isn't about passive resignation. It's not about just giving up. It is an active, conscious, daily choice to find appreciation for your life, exactly as it is right now. The flaws, the struggles, all of it.
And this is really the final truth of the song. Happiness isn't some prize you get at the finish line for winning the comparison race. It's an internal decision. It is a switch that you and only you have to flip in your own mind. So it all comes down to this, a complete and total reframing of your perspective. You have to stop envying someone else's highlight reel and start actually finding the value, the lessons, and yes, the beauty in your own unique struggle. And that
That is the incredibly powerful question J. Cole's philosophy leaves us with. It turns this whole idea away from him and points it directly back at our own lives, forcing us to look inward for the happiness we're so often convinced is somewhere else.